Aries in Denmark, Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you a few tricks that you are now going to do with your brand new Rayban 2132 new Wayfarer size 52 in color 901, which is the classic shiny black. Let's go ahead and open everything up. This is your Rayban case, your Rayban cleaning cloth with junk mail, and your Rayban frame and how it is sent to me. So let me move all that aside. And one thing they do is they ship it with a little plastic sleeve. If they think it's a good idea to ship it with one on there to prevent scratches, well, I'm going to put a second one on the other side when I ship to Denmark to you. Got some crumbs on there. Let me clean that one up. Okay, let me take everything off. These are your original G15 lenses. I'm going to pop those out, and I'm going to put your frame, your Italian frame, into my Italian Santinelli LE1000 patternless edger. The stylus is going to pop up and trace the shape of your left lens, and now it's going to move over and trace the shape of the right. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. So now it's tracing the shape of your right lens. I'm going to pull up the shape of your lens on the computer. Now if this were prescription, I would type in your pupillary distance. Because it's not, I'm just going to have it match the frames. This is a polycarbonate lens that I'm going to cut on the soft cycle because of the anti-glare coating, which I'll explain in a moment. And this is a Xyle frame, which is an old school name for plastic. Now this is, hopefully my camera is good enough, your Rayban 2132 new Wayfarer, color 901, size 52. The classic sunglasses that actually I am wearing myself. In fact, I can pop my lens out of my frame and pop it right into yours. And again, you're getting unbreakable lenses, at least the ones that I'm just about to cut for you. So you're never going to hurt your lens, and you're not going to hurt your frame by doing this. The only harm you could possibly have is these original G15, these glass lenses. If you drop them, they will shatter on the ground. So let's get started on your lenses. These are your polycarbonate aspheric lenses with anti-glare coating. Take the other one out of the protective sleeve. Now I do need to attach this block to it while it is cutting. This is what's going to hold it in the lathe while it's cutting. So I'm going to take a little double-sided sticky pad from 3M. I'm going to put it on the block, pull away the tape to reveal this sticky side, and now I'm going to stick that onto your lens. I'm going to do the same thing for the right. If this were prescription, I would have everything lined up in here where I've got the meridians just right, but I don't have to worry about that because there's no way I can miscut one of these lenses. But your anti-glare coating, it actually eliminates glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, but also from street lights, stoplights, street lights, computer screens, overhead lights, fluorescent lights, all of that stuff. Particularly computer screens, just because that glare from computers is terrible. But I'm going to put, but it's three features in one. It's an anti-glare lens, as I just mentioned. It's also an anti-reflection lens, so when someone's looking at you, they don't see their reflection in your glasses. And this lens on the right does not have that coating. As I move it back and forth, you can see the reflection of the fluorescent lights overhead. You don't get that in your lenses, so it makes for much better eye contact. So when someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your glasses. Or more importantly, why people like it, if someone takes a picture with the flash, you don't see the flash lit up in the lens. The third feature that I like is it comes with the best scratch protection in the business, because they have to protect their investment. Now the first thing that's going to happen, these calipers are going to come down and trace the shape of your right lens. It's first going to trace onto the concave side of the lens first, which is closest to your eyelashes. Then it's going to move over and trace the convex side of the lens, which sits away from the face. All the while, those calipers are measuring the thickness of the lens to know exactly where to place the bevel, so it fits best inside the frame. The actual cutting wheel is down here on the left. It's that lighter color wheel that looks like a heavy grit sandpaper. That's going to grind away your polycarbonate material, and this wheel in the center is what's going to put the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. This will get loud, but for now I just want you to see is your polycarbonate, aspheric polycarbonate anti-glare lens as it touches down onto the cutting wheel. This whole process should take about 15 minutes. It's now 7:28 on Wednesday, May 7th. 74 degrees in my hometown of Durham, North Carolina, at least according to my new Samsung 2 Gear watch, or Gear 2 I should say. Speaking of temperature, in the winter of 1999. It was just before the millennium. It was early December. But a good friend of mine that I knew years ago who lives in Sweden, we spent 3 weeks traveling around Scandinavia. And we first left Sweden and went to Copenhagen, Denmark. And we stayed there for a few days. There was a bowling alley that was open late at night at midnight, and it had glow-in-the-dark bowling. The bowling ball was glow-in-the-dark. The pins were glow-in-the-dark. It's near downtown. All I can tell you is that there... No, I'm getting confused with Oslo. But it is downtown. It's somewhere near Christiania. But we left from there to go to Oslo, Norway. And our ferry left at about 9:30. But it was the coldest morning I have ever felt. Excuse me, I've got allergies this year. But my base camp was in London. I was visiting some friends, and I looked on the map. I knew I was going to Sweden, but I was 70 degrees Fahrenheit here in North Carolina in December when I left. I get to London, it's about 40 degrees, and everyone's complaining how cold it is. And I was like, guys, this isn't cold. I looked on a map. Scandinavia was the same latitude as London. And so, if you notice, it's still completely flat. Now I'm going to put the bevel onto the lens. But I looked at the map, and it looked like it was the same temperature or the same latitude as London, so I did not take my winter coat with me. I had a sweater and a windbreaker, which was enough for London. I get to Scandinavia, and it was cold, especially in Copenhagen on the water. We had to wait outside for our ferry, which looked like a cruise ship, but there was a bar, and I don't drink, but there was a bar that was supposed to open at 9 a.m. I was banging on the doors at 9:01 for them to let me in so I could get a cup of coffee and try and stay warm and get out of the wind. The water, the houses on the water in Denmark and Copenhagen were just beautiful. The different color, tall, skinny row houses, each one painted a different color. Absolutely beautiful. I was just too frozen cold to appreciate it then. There was definitely something foul in the state of Denmark then. I was freezing till we caught the ferry to Oslo, Norway. And then Norway's a whole nother story. I won't tell you about the time I spent there. We'll keep this rated G. I did drink when I was in Norway. I will say that there's a TGIF's in Oslo where I would go and get bourbon, because that's what I was drinking back then. It was the only place in Norway you could get bourbon. So you still have a little bit of rough edges here, so I'm going to smooth these out on my handstone, which is completely flat. I can put my hand on it while it's running. The only thing that happens is my finger gets warm due to the friction. But that friction is what enables me to smooth out those rough edges. And I'm going to scrape that off. This white powdery substance is called Schwarf. I do this so much I've worn a V-shaped bevel into my thumbnail from doing this. But once I get it all off your lens and onto the counter, I carefully collect it, and then I wipe it on the floor. And this is where I say, kids, stay in school. I went to school for years to learn how to make a mess like this. If you want to be like me, stay in school and learn to make a mess. So to see if this fits, I'm going to tuck this in at the outside corner, and using my thumbs, press down, and it snaps in perfectly. I'm going to do the same thing now for your left lens. Flip that in and hit start. It's going to come over and trace the shape of your left lens now on the concave side of the lens, and then move over and trace the convex side. And as soon as this starts cutting, I'm going to show you how you pop your multiple pairs of lenses that you purchased in and out. You actually have 3 pairs of lenses. The clear lenses with anti-glare coating, and you also have a set of G15 and a set of brown gradient lenses, which I will ship. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you how to pop the lenses in and out. The same instructions apply for all the lenses, irregardless of color. Now this is going to drop down onto the cutting wheel. Okay, so this block is no longer needed. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to pull away the blue sticker too. And one thing I want to do, let me get me some extra sleeves. I'm going to take my famous red pen that I use in every video, and I'm going to mark this Rayban 2132, and I'm actually going to ship it with the clear lenses. So this will be 52 G15. You're also getting the brown gradient lenses if memory serves correct, but these are your original lenses. let me pop out your clear lens. In order to take the lenses out, I point the frame downward where the two temples are facing upward. I grab the frame with my left hand. I use my thumb. It's always with the thumb. It's always at the nose. But I'm going to use my thumb to push out on the lens. And the other thing I do is with my knuckles, I kind of grab the side of the frame and torque it a little bit. You're not going to hurt the frame. You're not going to hurt the lens by doing this. But I place my thumb on the lens at the nose, and my other thumb I press. Out comes your lens. In order to pop it back in, I turn the frame upright. And I always work on the side closest to me. If I was trying to work on this side, I would rotate it to do that. But for now, I'm going to work on the right lens. I tuck it in at the outside corner first, and then with my thumbs, it's always with the thumbs, it's always at the nose, just press down, it snaps in. Now these are the unbreakable lenses, you're never going to hurt it. Real quick, I'm going to pop that out, and I'm going to pop in your original Ray-Ban lenses with logos. Same thing, you tuck it in at the outside corner, and then using the thumbs, you press down at the nose, that is that one. I'm going to rotate the empty side closest to me, and then I tuck the lens in at the outside corner, and using my thumbs, press down at the nose. It is a piece of cake in the 52. The 55 eye size is a little bit harder. So I'm going to pop these out. I'm going to get these wrapped up. The first thing I'm going to do is use my optical grade acetone, and I'm going to clean any adhesive residue. Ray-Ban puts a little bit of adhesive around the edge of the lenses. I'm going to clean all that off for you so that it's easier for you to pop them in and out. Clean all that off. I'm going to go around the outside now, get that adhesive residue around the outside, and then I'm going to use my cleaning cloth. And by the way, everyone will be receiving one of my personalized monogrammed cleaning cloth with instructions on how to care for your cloth and your case, your Ray-Ban case, so it'll last you for years. You're still going to get the original Ray-Ban cleaning cloth. I'm going to throw in one of mine as well. You can have more than one cleaning cloth since you have more than one set of lenses. I am going to put your sticker back on, and these are the foam sleeves that the multi-billion-dollar labs send me. They're invisible bifocals, polarized lenses, transition, anti-glare, all that stuff. I'm going to recycle them. I'm going to wrap your right lens up in one of these protective sleeves, and I fold them over for twice the protection on the concave side and tuck that in there. And I'm actually going to put one more cleaning cloth in here, so there's no way this could ever be damaged during shipping, and these are going to be wrapped up tight inside your package anyway. So you'll be receiving 2 packages of these along with your box, and the clear lenses will already be mounted into your frame. So right out of the box you can be geek chic. So I do want to smooth out these rough edges. Back around the handstone real fast. For the safety bevel, use my thumbnail, and this time I'm just going to stand right over the floor and let that drop off there. I love making a mess. Kids, stay in school. How many times I got to tell you? So again, to test the left lens this time, tuck it in at the outside corner, then using the thumbs, press down at the nose. It snaps in perfectly. Take that block off. This blue sticker is no longer needed. And that is that. I'm going to pop this back in. Clean this up for you. And one more thing I want to do is get this in standard alignment. Now 99% of all optical shops do free adjustments. So next time if these are too loose or too tight, or if one side sits higher than the other, because mine, I have one ear that's higher than the other, so when I put mine on the table they wobble. I'm now going to make sure yours are in standard alignment, to whereas when I press down there is no wobble. I'm going to flip them over. There is no wobble. I make sure each temple overlaps perfectly, and they do. Same amount of tension on each side. I just want to clean my fingerprints off so that you cannot turn me into your FBI and collect that big reward that's out on me. And that is that. If anyone has any questions about what I can and can't do, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com, or simply click the Contact Me button on the website. Aries in Denmark, I hope you enjoyed watching your glasses being made. Everyone else out there, I hope you had the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.